It's time for On the Table, brought to you by Blue Runner Foods, proudly serving up authentic Louisiana flavor for generations. And we've got a good one today. We've got Darren and Keith Chifici joining us from Deanie Seafood, a place that's been feeding locals and visitors alike for generations, from Bucktown to the French Quarter. Glad to have y'all here.
Hey, thank you.
I hope y'all had a
Appreciate
great
it.
weekend.
Sure did.
Real good.
Always busy, particularly seafood in New Orleans, as we came off the Lenten period. Look, seafood's good any time of the year, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. I got to ask you, Deanie's isn't just a restaurant. It's sort of it's an institution in New Orleans, and your family's been involved since 1982,
Right.
I believe.
Yes.
And it's just part of the city and part of the region. What does it mean to y'all personally to be involved like that?
Well, we take pride in it. We work every day. We've been there since the beginning, and we were kids when my father bought it in '82.
You literally grew up in the business.
So we don't really know much else. That's what we've been doing. So we live it every day.
I mean, and you're attached to the Bucktown
Right.
location.
Right.
You're attached to the French Quarter location.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have to talk each and every day. Like, what did you see today? What?
Probably 2-3 times a day.
2 or
at
3
some
times a
point,
day.
right?
Yeah.
And just having that camaraderie that y'all two have that responsibility of carrying on this family business. What does that feel like to you?
Well, it can be a little arduous sometimes, but we like I said, we live it, we like it, and we want to keep up the tradition and make everybody proud of we're one of 7 kids, or I'm sorry, 2 of 7 kids. There's 7 of us, 7 siblings, and everybody still has ownership in it, and we try to run it for everybody.
Yeah. So somebody coming to Deanie's for the very first time, hard to believe, but say they're a visitor into town, they're coming to Deanie's. What do they experience? What's that seafood platter looking like for them? Because that is like the iconic
Yes,
dish.
Yes.
Because it's got everything.
Well, I would say that most people are amazed by the size, and so that and they come for that. But then, I think they are stunned by the size, but then they see the quality, and they all the variety that's on there. You got the shrimp, you got the catfish, you got the oysters, just soft shell crab, the crawfish balls. There's just all that variety on there, and I just think it gives you a taste of everything.
It's very generous.
Yeah. And it gives you a taste of everything that we have to offer, each type of seafood.
Yeah. Personnel is so important in a restaurant, and you visit your 2 establishments and you have faces that people will see over and over and over again because you have some really great servers. And at back of the house, talk to us about the talent that you have around you.
Well, I think that's really important because we have employees that have been with us 20, 30 years, and they have clientele, so that you want staff that have people come to see them and make them feel at home, and if you don't have that, then it's you'll get that chain feel or whatever. But when you come to Deanie's, it's your customers, they know you, they feel welcome, and so if you can keep employees, and it shows the customer that, hey, these people have been here. This must be a pretty good place. I'm seeing the same faces every time coming in here, and I know they know me by name. And vice versa.
I mean, it's a very warm feeling, and I know, Keith, in the French Quarter, you're probably seeing maybe a larger portion of visitors, perhaps.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I know you get locals.
I do. I get my fair share of locals, but obviously it's mostly tourists. But to his point, I'll get customers that come in and might be a year, it could be 6 months when they come back. Say, where's such and such, the bartender? That's who I want us to wait. Or they come back just for them. Like I got a couple from San Antonio that come in twice a year to sit at the bar, just to hang out at the bar with the bartenders.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Let's talk about Bucktown for a moment. It's a history. It was a fishing village right on the outskirts of the city of New Orleans, right there on the inlet. How has that neighborhood shaped the identity of Deanie's?
Well, it really is. It brought Deanie's to everybody's attention. It's what Bucktown was, although I guess the whole complexion of the neighborhood changed after Katrina. It doesn't look like it used to be, and we have a lot of pictures on the wall showing what it used to be before that. But that's what we try to keep alive. Is that we want to serve the local seafood, the shrimp, the oysters, and all that people used to fish around. Come off the lake, and that's what we want.
The freshest of seafood.
Yeah. That's what we want to provide.
I think of the Lake Pontchartrain crab that you could get in abundance in the old days back on West End Park, and that atmosphere was just so special for our families.
And that's one of crabs. Funny when you have a lot of them, and people will come in. It's one of the few places you can come in and eat some boiled crabs, get a dozen or whatever, and sit down and eat. Where as at French Quarter location, a lot of tourists wouldn't even know what to do with that.
Keith, you get a lot of questions like, okay, where do I start?
Well, in the beginning, I used to carry the boiled crabs, and now I don't carry them as much because I either have to wind up eating them, or I'm breaking up number one crabs and putting them in gumbo so I wouldn't lose them.
Right.
Because the out of town, right, exactly, they wouldn't know how to handle it.
Do you give them the pick? And I got to say that my mom, who's 94 years old, and she's very proud of her age, she's probably one of the best crab pickers I've ever met, because she used that little tool that pulled out the crab meat. I mean, it had a sharp edge to it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, I'm sure if you'd probably give that to a visitor, and they're like, okay, what do I do with this?
Well, we give them the crab. What do you call it? The crab. The cracker.
The
not
cracker.
The picks. Right. Yeah. We give them the cracker.
And go for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let alone they got to teach them how to do the crawfish and
You got to teach everybody. How to do
Crawfish is a little
right.
easier, but
easier. But
That-
you still got to teach them.
That's
right.
amazing. Was there a moment for both of you when it hit you that this is bigger than us? This is part of New Orleans. I mean, you carry on such tradition. I don't mean to put that responsibility on your shoulder, but I'm sure you get the question. This is bigger than us.
Well, I guess that I would say that we have a responsibility to keep that, to keep the name up there, and we don't want to like have somebody have an experience that is less than the name is worth or what they expect. So it's a responsibility.
Yeah. So you're building history. You've got family involved. What's it like for the next generation coming along in your group?
Well, I hope there's a next generation. His son is actually getting ready to go to culinary school, and hopefully
shipping him out in 3 months. To culinary school. Correct.
Very good.
Yeah. So hopefully, somebody, because we're getting a little old to doing this.
Let's talk about the seafood product itself. What do you see coming into the restaurant that you're serving these days? That the most asked items besides the seafood platter? What else are people looking for?
Most, crawfish is always the people waiting for the next season. When it's out of season, but they always want fresh redfish or fresh speckled trout, and that's what we try to get as much as possible, because it is in Louisiana. Those are now game fish, so you have to you can find some farm raised ones, or you can get them from Mississippi or something. But it's just trying to keep the best fresh local seafood you can get.
Yeah. Same thing with you, Keith, the French Quarter?
Gumbo.
Really?
And we have a dish called black and red fish, and we top it with etouffee. That's probably my biggest two sellers.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we sell our fair share. You were asking about the giant platters, but he does more of those at his location because of the local people, whereas the out-of-towners or the tourists, they all want to try the gumbo, and they all want the black and red fish. That's my two biggest sellers.
I got to ask you, though, the gumbo, seafood, chicken andouille, what do you get?
As far as movement?
Yeah.
Not chicken, I'm sorry. The seafood gumbo.
Seafood gumbo?
Yeah. I prefer the chicken andouille.
Yeah.
But the
We
seafood
like to
gumbo
ask
is the
that
biggest
question.
seller, yeah.
What do you prefer? And
I'm chicken andouille.
I'm getting a lot of that chicken and andouille. Yeah.
But by far, the seafood gumbo is my biggest mover.
What about you in Bucktown?
I move more seafood gumbo. I mean, I sell a lot of chicken sausage, but seafood's a bigger mover.
Did y'all find yourself in the kitchen a lot in the early days? Are you finding yourself there now and wanting to get your hands on the
I'm in the
preparation?
kitchen every day, so I'm still doing
Are you
a lot of,
chopping?
not chopping. We buy stuff, but I'm doing, I'm back there making the stuffings, making the gumbos, making etouffee, and we're still doing that. Yeah, and I do have some help now, but I do all supervise and do all the batch cooking, all the gumbos, all the etouffees, all the stuffings that we make.
I think that's great for people to know that the owners of Deanie's are actually in the kitchen cooking.
I'm in it every day.
That-
I'm not doing batch cooking, but I'm running the kitchen, making sure the food's getting pumped out.
Yeah, I mean that's fantastic that you've got your hands on it so much.
Right.
How many more generations you got coming down the pike? You've got another, what, 40, 50 years yourselves involved?
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
We'll see.
You're still enjoying it, though.
Yeah, well,
You
still.
bring so much joy to people.
We hope so. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, no, you can walk through your dining room and you see people having reunions and all sorts of celebrations and sitting around a big platter.
And that's what's big in Bucktown, at least. They'll walk in a door with 20, 30 people and like, all right, yeah, we can do it. Just give us a minute to clear some
Everybody's got a
tables.
smile on their face.
But yeah, they come in with balloons and they're doing graduations, they're doing birthdays, they're doing whatever.
That's great. Well, listen, we appreciate y'all sitting down with us.
Thank you.
You've made us very hungry. We know we got 2 restaurants we can get to as soon as possible. Both Darren and Keith, thank you for bringing this tradition alive on so many years to the area, and many more years of good luck and best wishes to y'all.
Appreciate that.
And we
Thanks
want
a
to
lot.
thank Blue Runner Foods for sponsoring this segment, and appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, y'all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and turn on your notifications. Please follow us. We've got new shows each and every week. And a very, very special thanks to all of our sponsors who are making this possible. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.